he wanted to talk about Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts, if you're going to ascend the ladder on maybe this quarterback is the reason they win, winning is a quarterback stat, it is how we give fame if you're a winner. He just beat the winner of the winners who was going to replace Tom Brady. Who is Jalen Hurts now as he flies into stardom as the 5th or 6th best player on his offense and a guy who would win Super Bowl MVP, and yet still all of us would watch that game and still say, yeah, Kansas City's got the better quarterback. Like, I know.
Well, that's the weird thing to me. It's like Jalen Hurts won because the offensive line is good. The defensive line is good. His wide receivers are good. His running back is great. He went to a Super Bowl 2 years ago with Miles Sanders as his running back. This is a guy who checks all the boxes in terms of things you want from your athlete, and he doesn't seem to be getting any of the credit. He has been through all the adversity. He had to leave Alabama after winning a national championship because it was Tua's turn, and he had to go to Oklahoma, and he didn't sulk. He went to Oklahoma and made himself better. Drafted in the 2nd round, makes it to 2 Super Bowls, won a Super Bowl, Super Bowl MVP. He's 25 years old, and no one is celebrating Jalen Hurts. And to me, that is odd, because what do we do when a team wins a Super Bowl? We usually celebrate that team's quarterback. I have found it interesting that we're making more excuses as to why Patrick Mahomes didn't win the Super Bowl than giving credit to Jalen Hurts for actually winning the Super Bowl.
So this part is super interesting to me. And not a lot about this stuff is, usually. In what we've made of sports, where after losses, all of us are yelling and screaming about who's to blame, often about a call here and there, this little move here. But now what you've got off a game is we were just denied a historic, that football dynasty has never existed. There's never been something that wins 3 times in a row. And America delighted so much in its demise, in the demise of excellence,
right,
that Philadelphia winning pales compared to Kansas City losing, because we're in blame culture, man. And this was about Taylor Swift and Kelsey, and can I laugh at his outfit, and can I boo Taylor Swift, and somebody else gets to win. And this team that has represented America for 3 years in the power sport made us forget Brady quick. Or I shouldn't say forget Brady quick, but I just saw in one game, Stugotz, I saw the television coverage go from can Mahomes be better than Brady after this to Mahomes loses that way, and then the television coverage is that has gone out the window.
Right.
That Mahomes will never be Brady because that loss, Brady would have never lost like that.
Yes.
The whole story becomes about Kansas City loss, not Philadelphia won, except in Philadelphia, where Philadelphia can celebrate that it's got a beast of a football team.
But that is odd to me, the fact that that's where we decided to go as a nation, as a country, and we're not addressing Jalen Hurts at all. Like, Jalen Hurts changed his game. I know Jalen Hurts can win that team a Super Bowl because he almost did it by throwing the football 2 years ago. But he was willing to say, hey, you know what? We have Saquon. We have a great offensive line. When you need me to throw it, I'll throw it. But in the meantime, we're going to change our game, and we're going to run our way to a Super Bowl. And no one is giving this guy credit for doing all the right things his entire career, college and professional, because we're making fun of the Chiefs. I agree with you. It's
I think this is a paper straw man. I really do. I really do. I mean,
well, hold on a second. Let me get that for you. Then I got to find it. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Straw man.
Jalen Hurts had a produced Super Bowl commercial by Jordan Brand in that. He is the face of a football brand. His airness handpicked him. He's in Disney World. He's played well now in 2 Super Bowls against the Kansas City Chiefs. He made a bomb-ass throw, probably the throw of that game. He wasn't limited. He came in. There were some critics saying that this guy's not the most spectacular guy on his own offense, and it's by a wide gulf. He was the best player on that offense in that game. And I think, quite honestly, yeah, the nature of social media is to make fun of the loser. But I think the main takeaway from what I sampled across the nation was God damn, that defensive line from Philadelphia was really good. And everybody was giving them credit because everybody was taken aback. We don't see Kansas City dominated like that over the course of this entire run. We've never seen that. So Philadelphia got plenty of credit, I think.
And I think credit to Jalen Hurts because he's had to change his game so many times from the college level to the pro level where it was like, all right, we know you can't throw the ball, you can only run, to all of a sudden, wait a second, like he can start throwing the ball now. Now they changed their entire identity offensively. Now we have Saquon Barkley, we're going to run the piss out of the ball, and yet continues to make great throws. The throw he had A.J. Brown to start the game was incredible. Dropped it completely in a bucket, got called back. Then he had the throw to Devontae Smith. Like, he's shown you his progression as a quarterback from his time at Alabama to now winning Super Bowl.
The Jordan Brand commercial was like, what are you going to say now? If I told you the Kansas City defense would do that good a job against Saquon Barkley headed into that game, tell you nothing about what has happened on the other side of the ball, you're like, okay, Eagles probably lose that game if you bottle up Saquon Barkley. If they have to count on Jalen Hurts to win that game. They did, and they won easily.
Do you think Jalen Hurts keeps his pennies?
I want to play a sound here. Jalen Hurts did the Disney thing. He had to go to Disney World. He must have been so exhausted. And I know that Jalen Hurts isn't the most exciting talker, but he gives this ESPN TikTok social media person as little as I've ever heard anyone give anyone in an interview.
How many unread text messages do you have after winning the Super Bowl?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
When was the last time you were starstruck? Funniest thing a fan has ever said to you during a game?
I'm listening.
What's a classic movie you've never seen?
If I've never seen it, how am I supposed to know?
Funniest NFL player you know?
Lane Johnson.
Could the average person run for 1 yard in an NFL game if they had 10 tries?
I'm sure a wise coach can make it happen.
Your iPhone wallpaper was the last Super Bowl game that you played in. Have you changed it yet?
I got no plans. It's just a wallpaper.
The only thing he answered there, who's your funniest teammate? Lane Johnson. Every other answer, I don't know. Nah, I don't know. Don't know. Haven't changed it.
Sneaky big eyebrows on Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Why is he dressed like the Joker going to the art museum?
Disney World is in the background there as he just gives you his only job right now as he arrives at stardom is to give the people some personality. He's not going to, right? He's a great leader, but he's going to fall in line on quarterbacks who don't bring any kind of controversy anywhere near the huddle and don't reveal very much of themselves to anybody. But
so he's too boring. That's why we're not celebrating Jalen Hurts.
Wait a minute. I thought but hold on a second though, right? Because we're all in agreement. We can diminish whatever the accomplishment was if you want. I can when Mike says he was the best player that day. No, he wasn't. Saquon Barkley's the best player on their offense. Kansas City stopped him, and it afforded Jalen Hurts an assortment of opportunities that he wouldn't have had if Saquon Barkley hadn't been the running back that's the MVP of their team.
Taking those flowers right away from him. Look at this guy go.
I know, that's what I'm saying. He had those opportunities 2 years ago. He outplayed Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl.
That is correct. And it becomes about Mahomes choked, Mahomes underachieved. It's not what Jalen Hurts did. It's that, it was 10-0, and then Mahomes throws the interception. It's 10-0, and then all of a sudden Mahomes throws another interception. And we're also in the place where we're wondering, as Travis Kelce and him don't look right, and we haven't seen this for 3 years, do they realize that they don't have a chance? Have they come to the realization that they're sitting in the middle of the Super Bowl going in at halftime, and it's like, we got 23 yards in the first half. What's that? They've got 24 points and should have more. So they're sitting in, and it's the halftime show. And Kendrick Lamar, and they're just sitting in it. And it's like, it's all over. Yeah, there will be no comebacks. Yeah, what happened in Houston when we were down 24-0? That's not our team.
Did you see Kendrick Lamar outgain the Kansas City Chiefs in terms of yards during his halftime performance?